Hi, everyone. This is Letty Patino, once again doing my 22-day challenge. If you've been following along, my challenge is a little bit different. Rather than doing push-ups, I chose to do 22 interviews with 22 vets. This is day 12 of my interviews, and today I've got Zach McGuffey with me. He is the founder of 22 Until Valhalla. Zach, can you please just give us a quick introduction as far as how long you served in the military, what branch you served in?
Yeah, so I just did, a 4-year enlistment with the United States Marine Corps Infantry in 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines.
Okay. What was your job?
So I was an 0351 infantry assaultman. Infantry job, assaultman specialized in demolitions and rockets, urban breaching. So we're in a weapons platoon, so we deal a lot more with the heavier weapons of the infantry.
Okay. Now, how long has it been now since you've been out?
I got out in October of 2011.
October 2011. Would you mind sharing a little bit about what your transition process was coming back home after serving?
No, absolutely not. So I am the president of 22 Until Valhalla, which is a veteran nonprofit to help veterans, battle their PTSD, suicide, assimilate into civilian life and heal holistically. It's a lot of stuff we push through our nonprofit for, veteran PTSD. When I got out in 2011. I did Iraq in 2009 with 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines, and also then we did Afghanistan in 2010, 2011 with, 2-1. Again, I did up my full enlistment with 2-1. Got out in October of 2011, which is about 6 months after we got home from Afghanistan. And I wasn't aware that I had PTSD, and I wasn't aware that I had a TBI. And I wasn't aware of my back and my neck issues. The only thing I knew that I had wrong with me was my hearing. So I got out, and for pretty much the first 3 years after I got out, I suffered a lot from my PTSD and my TBI and heavy drinking and, nightmares, not being able to sleep. It's just pretty much the normal issues that every veteran has when they get out. And in, January of 2013, I tried to commit suicide, by drinking and driving and rolling my truck. For whatever reason, I just thought that was the best option for suicide. And then about 9 months later, after I tried to commit suicide, my best friend, who was in 2-1 with me, he was in Iraq and Afghan with me, Brandon Robinson, he committed suicide in December of 2013. And about a year after that is when I decided to start my nonprofit. And, over 2 years later, here we are, doing big things. So that's real quick.
Yeah. No, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. What kind of stuff do you guys do with your nonprofit? I know you kind of mentioned a few things that you guys have helped out with.
So I started my nonprofit before it was a nonprofit. I just started a Facebook page, just trying to be a place for veterans to come talk and, network with each other and stuff. And, I was big into fitness, as I am still now. And I didn't mean for it to be the level that it is today. It just kind of snowballed in that direction, and I just kept rolling with it. And now we're a full 501c3 nonprofit, national status. I do a lot of the, late night phone calls. A veteran is in distress or a family member of a veteran is in distress. I answer the call personally, talk to the veteran, talk to the family member, help a veteran out of suicide. If they're having a suicidal idealization or any sort of issues with their PTSD, I talk to them directly. I help them through their issues, and then that's when we start pushing or educating the veteran and empowering the veteran with our holistic healing that we can help that veteran get to, or other nonprofits that can take those veterans on adventures or whatever that veteran would like to do. Or we do the family side of it. So we educate and empower a family member of a veteran as to what PTSD is or TBI is, how they can deal with the issues or the symptoms of it. And if we can't help the veteran, or if we can't help the family member and the veteran has committed suicide or does commit suicide, then we will set up a close family member or child of the veteran with a college scholarship. We already have 2 children set up with college scholarships as of last year. We took a team of vets up Mount Rainier last year, and we're taking another team of vets up Mount Rainier this year, taking a team of vets out boar hunting in Texas with another nonprofit we network with. We're doing that in March. We're connected with the Chicago veterans, and we're doing the 22-mile hike with Chicago veterans in May. And then, we have 7 other events this year that we'll be doing to educate and empower and help, the veteran community. So it has grown. It has grown exponentially more than I ever thought it would. But, here we are. I'm still riding the wave, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Awesome. You guys are doing great stuff. If you could give a vet any piece of advice, anything at all, coming back home and dealing with this, what would it be?
Well, one of the big things that I do with my nonprofit that I love aspects that we do is I go out all across the nation. I speak. I just tell people my story about how, I lost one of my best friends in Afghanistan to, he stepped on an IED. And, I also seen some, children get blown up and killed or maimed in Afghanistan. I was one of the first people on scene helping the children there. And that's one of the biggest issues I have now. And I still deal with that. But I go around the nation, I speak, I advocate for the veterans, and I advocate for PTSD and TBI and suicide. And I tell my story and my brother's stories. So I talk a lot with other people, a lot with civilians, a lot with veterans. And 2.5 years later, the best advice I could give to a veteran that's having issues, other than, everybody's going to tell that veteran, reach out, talk, ask for help, which is, it's great. Absolutely. But when you're an active duty military person, when you're in the Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force, what have you, whether you're infantry or combat arms or non-infantry, not combat arms, at the end of the day, every single veteran is stripped of their individuality once they go to boot camp. Whatever your respective boot camp is, everyone knows that's going through boot camp. The first thing they do is take away your individuality, and you're now part of the group. You're part of the team, and you have to work together to accomplish whatever mission it is. When you get out, you get thrown back into society, and now you're an individual again. But you spent your most formative years as a male or female, 18 to 22, or, 20 to 24, whatever it is. That's your most formative years, and you're not an individual in those formative years, right? You're a group, so you don't have to worry about yourself. Now you're out, you're 22, 24, 26, whatever it is. You have to learn how to be an individual. So, my best piece of advice to give to any veteran would be, learn who you are. Figure out who you are as an individual. What is your individual wants and needs and goals in life? And just go for it. Because now that you're out, you're a veteran. I mean, as a veteran in 2017, it's the best time to be a veteran. You have so many nonprofits out there, so many avenues of approach that will help you, will send you on great adventures, will help you through your PTSD, will help you through school or your job or whatever it is. So my best piece of advice, I guess, of what I'm trying to say is learn how to be an individual. Go out, travel, work multiple jobs, take whatever opportunities that are presented to you as a veteran and do it, because you have to learn what you love, what you don't love, what your passions are, what your passions are not, so you can build yourself up individualistically and be a strong individual veteran. And that's going to, I believe, transfer over into the veteran community and help more veterans out that are feeling suicidal.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you have any questions for me?
Yeah. So like I've said multiple times, and pretty much every speaking event that I do, I always tell people 22 push-up challenge is great. You're raising awareness. That's wonderful. But at the end of the day, when you're doing a 22 push-up challenge, all you're doing is 22 push-ups, posting your video, and you're getting that, instant gratification. Once you post a video, everybody likes it, comments on it, and tells you how great of a job you're doing. but what really are you doing?
Yeah.
Nobody can actually tell me, like, well, I'm doing push-ups. Okay, cool. Well, how are you affecting the veteran community in a positive light? Well, I mean, I'm doing my push-ups. Well, yeah, that's great. Fitness is wonderful. But what you're doing is what I tell people that you need to do. Like, either do, 22 minutes talking to a veteran, like what you're doing now, 22 hours, of volunteer time with the veteran community, or, what have you. Just doing push-ups is just doing push-ups. But when you're actually going out and interacting with these veterans and utilizing that time, in my belief, in a positive way, well, that's amazing. So, like, what I wanted to ask you is, how did you get this idea to not do the 22 push-ups, to actually do something way more productive?
How did I get the idea? It was actually just, I have quite a few veteran friends, and I've had the opportunity to talk to a few of them in the past, and it was it was just kind of random in a way. You get to know them in a different way, I guess, than you would have otherwise. I mean, there's stuff that I've heard and I find out about them, and just that I would have never, I would have never known otherwise if I had taken the time to talk to them. And if listening to a person for a few minutes is gonna make, it's gonna make a difference, why not? It didn't cost me anything but time. And if that's what they need to be able to get something off their chest, what did it cost me? It cost me nothing. So.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate you taking the 22 push-up challenge or initiative and changing it in a different light, but still affecting the veteran community. But in my belief, you're doing a way, way better thing. You're actually helping veterans. You're listening to them, and you're getting their story out. So I wish that more. You're a civilian, correct? You're not a veteran, or you are a veteran?
No, I'm not. I'm
okay.
a civilian.
Well, especially you being a civilian, and that's one thing that I've been trying to do for about a year and a half, is figure out how to bridge that gap between civilian and veteran relationships, because it's huge. There's like 1% of the population is veterans, like a very, very small amount of population is veterans, huge amount of civilians, correct? So how can the veteran community utilize the biggest group in the nation to help us, right? The best way to do that is talking to each other, interacting, going on these activities, talking over Skype, like what we're doing right now. So, what I think you're doing is great, and I really, really appreciate you utilizing this time instead of doing push-ups, actually talking to veterans. And I hope that more civilians can take this initiative and do what you're doing. So, I'm really happy to be a part of it. I'm very honored that you've chosen me to do a Skype date with. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to do it too. I think that was it for my questions for you. I just want to say thank you again for your service. Thank you for taking the time to, do an interview with me. And I just, I hope at the end of the day, I think everybody just kind of hopes that the message reaches the right people. And, that's the best we can do.
Well, I hope so. And thank you for buying some gear from us and supporting it.
It's a cool shirt. I like it. I like the design.
Well, good. Thank you. Awesome. Well, hey, let me know if there's ever anything you need personally, or anybody that's listening. My job is to answer the phone at 2 a.m. to a veteran that's having issues. That's what I do. I've been there. I've been suicidal. I fought my demons for years, and I didn't know how to effectively deal with my PTSD and my TBI on an individual level. I feel like I'm doing a lot better now, and I have the knowledge now to push that onto my community. So if there's any veteran out there, a family member of a veteran that feels lost or needs something, or needs somebody to talk to, or needs education, let me know. I will, my phone's 24/7, my Facebook's 24/7. I put my phone number on my Facebook page.
Would you mind sharing that phone number?
I'm sorry?
Would you mind sharing that phone number?
Yeah, so my phone number is 859-663-7603, but you can find my phone number on our Facebook page, 22 into Valhalla Facebook page. So like I said, email, message, Facebook, whatever, or you can call me, text me directly, and I'll talk to you guys. I'll help everybody I can. And that's what we're here for. So thank you for contacting me. And like I said, anybody out there that hears this message, contact me, and I'll help anybody that I can.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Have a great night.